Hi everyone, I'm Pear and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm currently a high school senior at an international school in Bangkok, Thailand. I will be attending Stanford University in the fall. So I'm the graduating class of 2023 and I'll be attending university as the class of 2027. Today, I'll be tackling a very highly requested topic, which is how I started my nonprofit organization. My nonprofit organization is called Pear, which stands for Health, Equity, and Respect. We are a menstrual equity nonprofit. We distribute reusable pads and pads made from sugarcane fiber to women across 5 countries. We help women who have no access to period products, who are in period poverty, for example, in prisons, conflicted groups, rural areas, and schools. As someone who has never created a nonprofit before, to have one that is, fully functioning and has been recognized by different entities is something really special to me. But I would say that I'm no way an expert, and my advice, if you feel like it doesn't apply to you or you disagree with it, always have room to disagree. In the extent of this video, I hope that you find at least one thing that resonates with you and that you can take back as a source of inspiration, as a source of motivation, or as just pathway for how you can start your own organization or assume a leadership role in an initiative that you're already currently working on. So my journey about starting Her, how did I start to get into the period space? The reason is from a personal standpoint. It's very personal. It's a very personal issue to me. So when I was 15, I lost my period for 8 months, and I thought that it was a blessing. I honestly thought, hey, it's so nice that I don't have to bleed anymore. Like in the different months, that time of the month where I really extremely dread it, I did not have to experience that anymore. So I was really happy and just enjoying life. But then when I went to see the gynecologist, she diagnosed me with this menstrual disorder called polycystic ovary syndrome. Go search it up if you want. It's just about how you have an imbalance of hormones and you have lost your period, you have irregular periods, so you have to take these birth control pills in order to make sure that your period comes regularly. So that actually led me to talk more about periods, and I spoke about periods actually to a former prisoner I was working with, because at the time I was volunteering at an NGO that helped train former prisoners who reintegrate back into society. So I was really close to a lot of former prisoners there, so I spoke to one of the women there and I told her about my condition, but then she started sharing her story, and her story was that she was in prison, she had no access to pads, and she was bleeding through her prison uniform on the day that she was menstruating, and the guards just forced her to mop up her mess, and her clothes weren't washed like 2 weeks after. Hearing that story made me realize that, first of all, how much I take for granted these period products that I, get to use every month. And second of all, it made me realize that even though I had a lot of education information, there were a lot more girls and women who were struggling, not just because they lacked access to information, but because they lacked access to the basic necessity and human right of period products. I decided to make reusable pads because they can last for like 5 years and they're really long term, and there's not a lot of pad options, like reusable pad options in Thailand. Why not we make our own? There were actually like a few pad brands that were reusable in Thailand. I would say there were only 2, and I bought them. Like I tried using them and I felt I can make this better. Why aren't these reusable pads both comfortable, absorbent, confident, and cheap? So that's like basically the idea of how I got involved in the period space. Now I'm going to be talking about how I got started. It was March 2021 and I remember having this idea, so I just wrote a Google document down. Just put my ideas down, I wrote stuff on the Google document, and then I made a Google form. And the Google form was basically just, please read this Google document if you're interested in periods, menstrual hygiene rights, women's rights, why should you care, da da da. And then I had like name, email, contact, and things like that. So I sent this out to a lot of my friends. I did not have a lot of outside school friends when I was in 10th grade. I just knew most people I knew were in my school, and so I was really scared I would be interested in my initiative. I would say if 4 people are interested or like 5 people, that would be such a huge thing for me, but to have 12 people interested, I was just like in shock, because we weren't even an organization. It was just a Google document, a Google form, and me, and that was only the thing that could persuade anyone. I mean, of course, it was me presenting the stories that I learned and gained, right? I collected a lot of stories of women and girls who had no access, of women I spoke to, of people who were going through period poverty and period stigma, and sharing those stories out to people. However, it was just so surprising to me to have people trust in us and put faith in us in some idea or initiative that there's no evidence, or like there's no way to quantify our impact or the potential of our impact, because why would anyone join this initiative when you don't even know if it will be worth my time, So I'm just so grateful to 12 people who believed in us, and that was actually you guys are actually one of my biggest sources of inspiration. Thank you through our first cohort, because without them, without people who believed in us since day one, I don't think I would ever be here. So I'm so grateful. There were a lot of obstacles and a lot of questions that I could not answer because I myself was still figuring a lot of things out, and I'm still figuring a lot of things out right now, but I've gained a lot of perspective, and so yeah, I'm just so grateful. Alright, so now moving on to our first meeting. It was through Zoom because it was during COVID. I remember how I was so nervous because I felt like I did not know what I was doing. I wasn't good at public speaking. I did not have a lot of confidence in myself. I was just so scared. In my head, it was just like black and white. And it's just like, if I flunk this presentation, then I'll have no one to work with me and this whole thing will just fail. I actually wrote up the script for the whole meeting. Like, I legit rehearsed like the script so many different times. When I was publicizing this initiative, I was really scared because like I had to, the audacity of sending your own like initiative which no one knows about to a group chat with over 100 people in your grade who you see every day at school is kind of scary. I was really scared. I had a lot of fear. And but I did it anyways. I was like, I need people to know about this, and I did not know any other way for people to know about her because I barely knew anyone. And so I just sent it out in the group chat with like all my friends and all my classmates in there. And then we had our first in-person meeting because thankfully everyone was in Thailand, and we looked at different pad samples, used that to make our own that addressed people's pain points. So we used the money that we fundraised during International Women's Day to make 200 prototypes, and then I sent the prototypes to friends and some women I knew at the NGO I was volunteering at to try out the pads and just provide feedback about what they thought about it or how we can improve. We figured out that like the prototype wasn't that good. It made us explore different like natural alternatives. So the current design that we use today, we actually received a lot of good feedback about it. We sent like 1,000 to Penn International, and the staff there and the women there said that it was really effective, and they really liked it. A lot of mistakes along the way, but something that I've learned and I really want to share with you is that the first thing is to don't be scared. And I know it's easy to say but hard to do because everyone has fear. I had so much fear. Even though you might have that thought in the beginning, but you will realize that whatever you do, people are gonna judge you anyways. So what I recommend is just do it. It's okay to be scared, but have the courage to overcome it. The next thing I want to say is that whatever you decide to do, like whatever project, initiative you decide to work on, decide to start, I hope that it comes from inside you. Like, I hope it comes from in here, because that's what's most important. Whatever comes from inside is authentic, will always last. The third thing that I want to tell you is that when you start an organization, it's okay to not know what you're doing, but at least to the people who are your team members, you want to be able to guide them and tell them that, like, okay, this is the idea, direction we're going, this is what we hope to accomplish, and be able to delegate different tasks. Have the ability to understand their viewpoints. They're not really getting much in return, so the least you can do is empathize with them, understand them, and just not take for granted their time. There's this saying that, like, if one walks alone, you can go fast, but if you walk together, you can go far. Working with a team is so important, and it's very important for growth as well and expansion. It's impossible to do everything yourself. People skills is so important. Connection, networking, it's so important. you will have to put yourself out there and go out of your way to really impress people and really show people that what you do matters and that you really truly care about it and that you have, the ability and the potential to grow it into something great. When I first started, I knew no one in the period space. I knew no one in the social impact space. And I was just just Googling a lot of things to answer my own questions. But if you're able to, just find someone, a friend, an upperclassman, or someone who has went through this before, and you can just ask them questions, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help you. Like, connections and networking is so important in growth, because you never know what opportunities will come your way. So you have to try to open as many doors as you can. The time when her became truly interscholastic was when I went to this service conference at a different school. And I just wanted to tell the story that about creating your own opportunities, right? Her is not a school-based initiative, so I did not start it at my school. I started it outside on my own. It's not a school club. Basically, at different international schools around Thailand, you get a quota for how many people you can send to the service conference, which is interscholastic. And at the service conference, different people will get to share their project. You'll get to hear from keynote speakers. So it's a very good connecting and networking event. So at my school, we had the policy that people who are in service clubs can send 2 representatives from each service club to go to the conference, and there was a limit. There were only 14 people or something, so every spot was already taken by someone from a service club. So obviously I wasn't part of a service club because I was already doing my own service initiative outside, and that took a lot of time already. So but I mean, since my initiative was an outside project, it doesn't really count towards the quota. The slots were already filled when I learned about this event. I really want to go. I want to really have the opportunity to meet other people and share what I did with other people so that they can learn about it and hopefully find more opportunities for people to join in. I remember going up to my activities coordinator and I was like, do you know how I can join this? I know it's already full. I just learned about this and really want to go. And my activities coordinator, she was telling me, if you want to go, there's this quota this year for each school that they can only send 14 people. So if you want to go, you have to go as not part of a school. And she said you have to email the organizers and you have to ask them, can I go by myself? Can I just go not representing any school, because since my school is full? I emailed them and they said I could do a workshop at the event. I could go as part of RAS. Yes, I'm the additional person. So I got to go and I did a how-to session from that event. We actually gained so many people who were interested that we were able to launch an interscholastic period conference, an interscholastic fundraiser to fundraise funds to distribute her pads. And we also gained a lot of ambassadors from that event, just from that one event, and be grateful for all the connections I've made. And this one event was really special to me because I also met our first ever chapter leader, and she inspired me so much to start her chapter program, which is this program that we're currently running. If I had not went out of my way to ask my activities coordinator and emailed the person who organized service if I could go, I would probably not have been able to kind of grew her at the velocity and pace that we did. And I'm just so grateful. And I feel the lesson that I took from this is that you have to create your own opportunities. And even though it seems like all the spots are taken, you never know when these blessings and these opportunities will come your way. So be prepared and always be seeking, creating your own opportunities. And the very, very important thing is that when I went into that conference, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to share my organization, share our mission. I wanted people to see who were interested in joining us. In my head, I already knew that I wanted to host an interscholastic fundraising event. That was something I had at the back of my mind. So whenever you go into these events, conferences, or whenever you create your own opportunities, always know where they will lead. Always have a vision in your head. Knowing people outside of your school sphere is very important because you think in your head, you think that when you're starting, you have no one to join you. You feel like there's such a small pool of people who would want to join your initiative. But when you grow your initiative and to the point where other people from other schools also know about it and want to join, you start realizing that the pool of people who want to do this is larger than you think. And There will always be someone who's interested in what you're doing. There will always be someone who's there to support you. And there will always be someone who will tell you, I want to join this initiative because I truly care about it. And so you don't have to be scared of no one wanting to join you. If you believe that what you're doing is right and what you're doing is making a difference and making an impact and helping people, build your organization and grow it. And the more people who know about it, there will most definitely be someone who's interested and will join you, right? That's like a fear I had when I was first starting, since I only knew people at RIS. So I was really scared that no one would come and join me. When I started kind of like expanding my bubble and the number of people I knew in different schools, I realized that there were a lot of people who were interested in the same things as me. If we have one person who's truly, truly passionate and so driven, that's just so beautiful, and that's just so amazing already, right? So some final words of wisdom. I was able to run this organization and grew it to what it is today. I wouldn't say that I'm successful. I just think that from my 3 years of doing this, I actually went through a lot of obstacles, challenges, and I've learned so many things from my experiences, and I really wanted to kind of share it in this video. I hope this video was informative for you, and I hope that you were able to take away maybe like one small thing from this and kind of just learn about my journey and how maybe you can craft yours, how you can go on your own path, start your own organization, and I hope it works super well for you. I just wanted to say that I was able to do this because there were people who believed that I could. I had a lot of self-doubt. Like I said, I doubted myself a lot. I felt like I did not know, I had no idea what I was doing most of the time, and I had to ask a lot of people for advice. And so it was very hard for me to believe in myself when I doubted myself a lot. So what I did was I used other people's belief in me, my parents, my friends, my mentors, my teachers' belief in me, who believed that I could do it, as my strength and as my courage. And I used that, and to the point where I started believing myself that I could. And that shift, right? That was a momentous shift for me. I was handicapped, basically. I was using other people's belief in me as the driving force in my work because I doubted myself a lot of the times and it felt like I couldn't do it. But I did it anyways. And kind of the moment I started realizing that, hey, actually I can do this, I kind of changed from just only using other people's beliefs in me as my strength, but using both other people's beliefs in me and my belief in myself as the strength to walk forward and kind of in my leadership. I think that was what kind of changed it for me and really made me see that as long as you believe in yourself and you believe in the things that you do, you will be able to do whatever you want, right? You will be able to do it. And no matter how many setbacks, how many challenges you face, as long as you believe in yourself and as long as you know that what you're doing matters and has purpose, keep going, right? I hope you keep going. Really, I hope you do. And don't ever give up, okay? Because you have such a long road ahead of you, a very bright future. So don't ever give up. And whatever other people may say, just listen to your inner voice, listen to your heart, and tell yourself, I can do this. I believe in myself, I can do this. So in whatever kind of stage you are in your journey, whatever your passion is, whether you're already in a leadership role, whether you are starting out an initiative, whether you don't really know yet what you want to do, I hope that one thing you take away from this video is to always believe in yourself and to always tell yourself that you are worth it, you are amazing, and that you are capable of anything you set your mind to, right? I wish this was something that I had more people tell me when I was starting out, because I was doubting myself a lot, but people who were supported me, that was one of the greatest things and greatest blessings I had. So I am here to tell you that I 100% support what you're doing, and I'm always here for you and always rooting for you in every way possible. So if you have any questions, concerns, again, please just let me know, or you can direct message me from my contacts below. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye!